Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel. In this video, I'm excited to share my second full build featuring a 144 scale real type Zeon mobile suit MS06S Zaku 2. Join me as I assemble the kit and apply some weathering techniques to give it a realistic battle-worn look. There are 7 runners in total. The red ones are used for the skirt pieces, orange for the main armor parts, gray for the inner frame, and black runners mostly contain the weapon components. Alright, let's begin. The first step is to remove the parts from the runners. I like to keep things organized by using paper cups with labels. This helps me sort the parts and makes the build smoother. Once all the nubs and gate marks are cleaned up and sanded, I wash the parts with regular dish soap to get rid of any chemicals or residue that might prevent the paint from sticking properly. Now that the parts are washed and dry, let's move on to the partial assembly. Next, we'll work on removing the obvious seam lines on the leg parts to give the model a cleaner, more realistic finish. For the next step, we'll enhance the model's detail by panel scribing a few sections on the arms and legs. This helps bring out a more mechanical and realistic look. After scribing, it's important to sand the surface to remove any rough lines or burrs, ensuring everything looks clean and sharp. Next, I'll apply black Tamiya panel accent color to the panel lines, which helps emphasize the separations and adds depth to the details. Now we'll proceed by carefully applying the water slide decals to bring out the finer details on the model. I apply Mr. Mark Setter. It helps the decals settle smoothly and prevents peeling. Now let's move on to painting. First, I'll apply a top coat. I'm using a matte finish to eliminate the shine and give the kit a more realistic, less plastic-like look. Begin the spray of the edge of the parts and gently move across them in smooth strokes. This technique helps avoid applying too much paint in one spot and ensures a smooth, even finish. Next up is the weathering process. I'll be using these materials to add realistic battle wear and tear to the model. I'm using the Gundam marker brown to accentuate the edges, then gently blending it out with the shade-off marker to create a more natural, worn effect. Make sure to clean the tip of the shade-off marker regularly, using a tissue to keep it working smoothly. Now I'll use Gundam marker grade 3 on the weapons to enhance the details with some subtle shading. To take the weathering a step further, I'm using the dry brush method with Mr. Hobby's dark matte gray acrylic paint. This helps bring out the edges and gives the kit a nice battle-worn finish. To dry brush, first load your brush with a bit of paint, then wipe most of it off on a tissue until only a small amount remains. Once the brush is nearly dry, use a slop chop motion to gently brush along the edges. This will highlight raised details and create a realistic worn effect. The next step is using the Tamiya Weathering Masters set. For this kit, I will use set B. It's a bit like applying makeup to your kit. Start by shading the edges and gently blend inward, fading the color toward the center for a natural gradient effect. Now I'll do another dry brush pass, this time with titanium silver. This adds a realistic metallic weathering effect perfect for simulating paint chips and worn down edges where the underlying metal would show through. Finally, to protect all the weathering work and give the kit a consistent finish, I'll apply another layer of matte top coat. Now it's time for final assembly. Let's put everything together and check out the completed build. Then we'll strike a few poses to bring the model to life.